Hi guys, Labour and other progressive parties wanted Kamala Harris to win the US presidential election, while the Tories and Reform favoured Trump. Now, instead of throwing their support behind the government in the national interest, Conservatives and the likes of Farage are trying to make political hay out of this disaster that is the new regime of tariffs. Remember, these are the same politicians who not just wanted Trump to win, but predicted that Britain could do a wonderful trade deal because Agent Orange was in charge. Tory MP Alison Griffiths here tried to take advantage of the situation, but the minister was on hand to slap down her tripe.
Deputy Speaker, the Business Secretary delayed and dithered for 5 months before meeting his US counterparts. And that dereliction of duty, his refusal to meet earlier, is a price that working people and businesses in the UK are now paying. So does he regret his refusal to meet his US counterpart earlier?
The Honourable Lady is incorrect, and I've got to ask her to take a bit more of a serious tone with the questions that she brings to board. This is really serious stuff. I've met my counterparts on many, many occasions. We were in contact even before some of the formal procedures on the US side that they were confirmed. So it wasn't technically even in any way possible to be in touch with them sooner. Their engagement has been consistent and serious. The Honourable Lady is incorrect, and please approach these very important proceedings with a little bit more seriousness.
Oh my goodness. See, the Tories and Reform should be actually rallying around the government because there is a real opponent, a real enemy of Britain at the moment, and that is Donald Trump. It doesn't matter what the UK government could have done. They could have genuflected, they could have kissed his behind. It wouldn't make any difference. He imposed a 10% tariff as a base level on all countries around the world, even countries that don't have inhabitants. There are islands that don't have any people or have more animals than people, more penguins than people, and those places have had a tariff imposed upon them. There's even an island with a US military base where there aren't any British citizens. It's a British island, but the inhabitants are American soldiers, and they even received the imposition of a 10% tariff. So this is not about what you can actually do. There's nothing you could do to avoid these tariffs. Now, the Tories understand this, or they should have, but they're still attacking the government. Donald Trump is the problem here. Even if the UK had achieved a 0% tariff, there's no guarantee that that would remain in place for any period of time. Donald Trump is unpredictable. You can't deal with him. There's nothing you can do. You can try and genuflect to him, you can try and pander to him, but it's not going to make any difference. Or it may make a difference for a short period of time. What we need to do in Europe, in the UK, outside the US, is to wake up and smell the coffee that for the next number of years, the US has to be a pariah state. You can't work with them. It's pointless, because even if you were to negotiate some sort of favourable condition, Donald Trump could tear it up the very next day. So it's pointless. It makes more sense to work with partners that are reliable. It makes more sense for the UK to work with the European Union, or to work with Canada even. These are reliable partners. The US is not a reliable partner, and it will not be while people like Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself are in power. That's the way it's going to be. Once again, you can do a trade deal with him, but he could tear it up the very next day. So while the Tories are trying to take advantage of the situation, I think they're just demonstrating that they're not operating in the national interest. They don't care about the consequences. They're trying to hit Labour over the head with a cudgel. But I think it makes them look worse. And it's interesting that during this debate, Reform UK were not in the chamber. Isn't that interesting?